Hello, in just under 12 hours the polls will be open and you'll be voting in a general election, which, if we're being honest, no one was expecting. Over the next 90 minutes we'll be asking, why should you vote? Are people getting the kind of leadership that they should be getting at the minute? This has been chaos, hasn't it, this election process, from all of the parties. All of your leaders, at one time or another, have really mucked this up, haven't they?
But I think if you look at the way the polls have closed, that's because people are getting a coherent message from Jeremy. They know what he stands for.
There's a man that you said lacked any sense of strategic direction or leadership, and that voters were baffled during the EU referendum campaign. He left them baffled. Those were your words, weren't they? Well, only a few months ago.
Certainly, well, a year ago.
Caps or not to cap, or is it absolute limits? That was all a little bit embarrassing and perhaps led a little bit to the surge in Labour, didn't it, when all of that happened?
It was and it wasn't, because I think the initial policy was very brave. I think the initial policy was very brave. I think Theresa May was addressing, and the party were addressing, a demographic time bomb that we're going to have to face, which is how do we pay for elderly care?
Yeah, we accept all that,
yeah.
but not to have a cap in the manifesto, clearly not. Yeah. Don't do a Theresa May on me, because we know this is a cap. Wasn't in the manifesto. 4 days later, it is there, and who's to blame? Mr. Corbyn. It was all his fault for scaremongering.
Well, not so much for scaremongering, but it was.
That's exactly what she said. It was scaremongering.
It's a very brave decision to face the fact that we are going to have to face these costs at some point.
But we understand that. But what about the bit about the cap not being there, and then suddenly was that embarrassing for the rest? Yeah?
Not all the details are in the manifesto.
Well, a cap's kind of important, isn't it? But when we talk about trust, you talk about the narrowing of the polls, Thangam Debbonaire. Because of your manifesto?
I think that the manifesto, what I'm getting on the doorstep is people like the fact that we've introduced the concept of a national education service.
And whose manifesto is it?
It's the Labour Party's manifesto, led by Jeremy Corbyn. No, it's a team effort.
So this is the manifesto of the Labour Party and Jeremy Corbyn taking things back to a very socialist time. And this is the man that you had no truck with. You felt you were overlooked for a job and taken down an alleyway and that.
I wasn't really overlooked, actually. That's not quite what happened.
You thought you'd been given a job and turned out you hadn't. But why would you trust Jeremy Corbyn, of all people? You don't even like the man and his policies, do you?
You can work with people that you don't have to get along with.
He's your leader. It's fair to say the Brexit thing has backfired big time with the Lib Dems, hasn't it? You know, that it was a one-issue campaign as far as you were concerned, and your vote, if you look at the polls, hasn't budged. If anything, it's fallen.
Well, your initial question was about leadership. Okay, so let's just pause for a second and reflect on leadership.
So we blame Tim Farron for that, do we?
Let's just pause for a second.
Well, not too long, because we're running out of time.
Of course not. He called a referendum thinking, oh yes, you know, the polls are saying that we're going to win.
Well, there's not too much of a history lesson. Let's keep it to the Lib Dems and how you haven't pushed things on through Brexit.
I'll come back to you. The reason why we're in such a mess is because of the inner machinations of the Tory party.
So why haven't the public en masse said, yeah, these are the guys who are fully against Brexit and are doing something about it, and swarming back to the Liberal Democrats? You've sat on about 8 points since this campaign was called.
Well, this is what we are doing. This is what we're doing. This is
not gathering support.
No. This is what we are doing through as well. You know, through a general election, the polls will go up and the polls will go down.
Well, yours haven't gone up. That's the problem.
We need an intelligent debate on immigration, where people, on the one hand, recognise what the current rules
but the trouble is,
but also recognise what our economic needs are.
But we've got a day and a half to have an intelligent debate. That's the problem, before people vote for one party or another. And the problem with the Labour Party is, and I would put it to you, with Jeremy Corbyn, is we don't know where he stands and whether he wants immigration to come down.
Well, I think maybe, Steve, you're just not paying attention, because he's done an awful lot more interviews and debates during this campaign.
So what does he want to bring immigration down to?
Well, we think the Tory target is foolish.
No, I'm not asking what their target.
I'm saying we don't think that there should be a set target, because
that's what I've just said. We don't know what the numbers are.
Yeah, but it's because it's foolish to have a target like that. The Tories.
But you said I wasn't watching closely.
But I'm
asking what the numbers are.
No, well, I'm saying that we don't have a number. That is not our policy to have a number.
So should immigration go up or down?
The Tories had an immigration target in their 2010 manifesto to reduce it to tens of thousands. They failed. They had it in 2015. They failed, and this is all under Theresa May's watch.
So is immigration good now? Is it okay? Are the numbers okay? Should we take in a few more, or should we take in less?
What
is Labour's
policy on that? Is a system that is responsive to the needs of the economy.
But what's the policy on that?
I've just said it. We need a system
up,
that
down,
is
or stay where they are. It's a choice of 3. Thanks to you at home as well for watching, and for those watching online. Don't forget, join me tomorrow night at 7:30 for our debate that takes us right across the country. Among the guests, the very same George Ferguson that was mentioned earlier, and Neil Hamilton, leader of UKIP in Wales. From all of us here, bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.